Right, I'm back inside the military museum, and I have a light and sound show here that we need to refurb, and it's been pushed over and left laying on its back in here. This power supply we need to remove and refurbish. The connections to the lighting supplies are a bit subpar now. We want to put an Anderson plug on here, and we also want to check the amount of current going through, add some additional fusing, generally work on some safety. Now this whole thing is going to get ripped out and reworked in the very near future, but for now we need to fix this bit of it. This is the immediate problem. Alright, this is not a computer, by the way. This entire case is just one power supply. Got a welder transformer in there that we hand rewound, and there are 16 car alternator diodes for the bridge rectifier in there. I realised there's a lighter socket that I designed for this. I could fit a plug into that too. That might almost work, although we're probably going to pull a bit more than 10 amps on that. Anyway, this can wheel in and lay on the side in the back here. I haven't touched this in nearly 20 years. Yeah, that terminal's been getting warm. Time to change it. But this is all just a power supply. This is a welder transformer that we rewound with flat bar copper to supply 14.4 volts. I forget how big this capacitor is. I think it's in like 2 farads or something. 2 or 4 farads. We'll find out in a minute. And this is 2 heat sinks separated with an insulator that contains 16 car alternator diodes that makes up my bridge rectifier. Very simple. And it's been running the lights in the museum for a long time. And this terminal's been getting hot for some reason. So I decided to remove it from service. And then realized that in my infinite wisdom we never put a fuse in it. So today we're going to put a 50 amp Anderson plug on the front, which is slightly smaller diameter wire, but probably more quality. This is like cheap Chinese jump starter lead, so there's probably about the same amount of copper in there. In any case, we used to run halogen lighting rails off this, about 100 amps worth, and it keeps up with that continuously. There is even fan cooling on the bridge rectifier and a bit of fan cooling out of here. Okay, have it back together. We're threaded through, got the black wire through the negative hole. Not that it really makes a lot of difference these days. Put that into the negative slot and hook facing the clip. That is indeed a negative slot. Let's go and go click, and we're in. And we do the same with the positive one, just because it's not negative. Through the positive hole, and yep. Go in and go click. Go. Okay, so that now threads out through the front, which is good. Alright, that looks a little bit firmer. That's on nicely. They're all on tight. That's good. And now we need to pull this one off. Now, I know this looks big and scary, but all of everything from here onwards is all low voltage. High voltage is hiding away in those 2 wires here that we insulated with fiberglass silicon insulation all the way back to the main side, so that is well isolated, and we have a terminal block holding all the main stuff down there. We're pretty right. Now, one of these days we're going to give the case a repaint, and this is on wheels, by the way. But yes, now I can just plug things straight into it, and also it should remove, if there is a heat in the connection, should remove it away from the front panel. We can't pull it out. I have re-glued all of this in. This 5-volt regulator is disconnected for now. Just keeps some heat away from, or some extra wiring away from things. I'll probably seek to simplify the wiring a bit further in future, and we'll get back in and add some more insulation to stuff. For now though, this works. Right, now we need to hook an Anderson plug up to this. This is our 2 lighting circuit loops. This is our fuse box with fuses for every circuit. And we've got a couple other things to do in here. I've got to work out what that orphaned circuit's from as well. There's an extra circuit there. So we'll work all that out in a minute and we'll hook our Anderson plug up. Now, like I've said, this whole thing is going to get stripped out and rebuilt from the ground up very soon. This is just temporary patch-ups. Alright. I've got to work out where this lead goes. This one goes off somewhere else. I guess that goes up the lumen over the top. That might run the switch. These might be the redundant lighting circuits to the other part of the show that is not used anymore. So they might be safe to leave off, which will be good. Right, so shockingly, I forgot the soldering iron today. So, but this is kind of what I'd intended to do anyway. The terminals we're going to use as solder cups, and a bit of blue tack to hold them up. Alright, we got a little bit of flux into it, which is good. Now I've got these with a smaller internal diameter, so hopefully they should fit. That's about the right length. Yes. Okay, now we're going to use these as solder cups. These ones are tinned, hopefully. These nice and hot. There we go. Now we let it sit. Right. Our back door gets me every time. Right, let's let these go. Alright, we might shove a bit more solder into them in a minute. See how that one goes. That's still too hot to touch. Alright, terminals are cool. Give them a quick clean up. Should be able to shove them into the block. Make sure that didn't go all the way in. That's better. Alright. Red is on the positive side, black is on the negative. You make extra sure. We have appropriate fusing on both these circuits, and we have a 50 amp fuse in the box. Let's plug some things back in. Alright. Okay. See if things light up now. Where's the socket? There it is. That way. Okay. Now we see if things blow up. Alright, so we've got something wrong here. Let's find out what that is. So for a start, we've got something rubbing on a fan, which has moved. Now, there's 2 places that could happen. One is up the back there. That's probably it there. Let's have a look. Right. That's better. Okay. Keep in mind, mains is plugged in here. I wouldn't be doing this unless there was an RCD on the circuit, of which there are 2. I dropped the screw. Alright, so we've got most of that working. The next big problem is this junk, or piece of junk. This is this was done as a solution, short term, when my leads didn't fit, and we put a whole bunch of different adapters in here for the subwoofer output, which is corroded in badly, and all these are causing loose connections, which causes subwoofer problems as well. So I think I have a solution to that. Meanwhile though, This RCA plug is on tight. Oh. It is an RCA plug, is it? Is it just corroded in? How does this come off? Oh, finally. Okay. Alright, so I remember what was going on here. This is a female RCA and that's a female RCA. I have, that I brought with me, my kit that comes with my video camera tester. And I've probably got an adapter in here that goes male to male. We'll see. Now, when I first started doing surveillance stuff, I had a whole bunch of adapters I made up for the purpose of testing. I don't do that anymore, so I might have one that works. That's female to female. This one is the end chopped off. I must have stolen that. There's a male to male one here. So that's a male to male custom. This is a short male to male. That'll do. There you go. I'm not out of adapters. I have a spare. Okay, as this is only a mono subwoofer, I might plug into the other side where the plug's better and plug into that. That looks better. This is horrible, and this is why the whole thing's getting ripped out. This is a little relay that changes over to the vintage radio cabinet on the other side. We'll go into that in much more depth later. Right now, I want to make sure everything works. Right. Okay, so things have started up silently now. We will wait for the light and sound show here to boot, which is have to turn you on like that. We'll let it all start up. While we wait for the boot up, we'll stick some stuff in here. Kids have been playing with this too, so we'll spin it around out of the way at some point so it's not so obvious. There you go.
Attention, audio-visual system is now active.
Awesome. Okay, so we just had some vintage music playing through the main speakers, and that's a problem. I'll explain in a minute. We also don't have cabinet lights. Now, we have relay banks here that should turn lights on and off. Okay, one of these should turn on the radio cabinet as well. So I'll have a walk around and make sure all our lights are working. Now this little thing over here, this is an amplifier in a genuine vintage radio cabinet. This is a Rakophone Pee-wee, donated by my senior engineer. And so for the vintage radio sections of the broadcasts, it will do through that. Then when it does the rest of the show, it'll go over the quadraphonic speakers in the building here. And one of those relay channels will flicker the cabinet lights when there's like bomb blasts and stuff. Now I need to move that so it doesn't look as obvious. I'll get to that in a minute. But we're gonna have a walk around and check all the cabinet lights, make sure they are all working. We'll come back here tomorrow with a current meter. That won't be in this video. So all cabinet lights appear to be working. Now it does run a loop that doubles back again to form like a ring that supplies the lights, and then each of these side sections taps off on its own little circuit. You can see wires running across here. This one is not working, but I think this one had a connection problem on the end of that circuit, so that's something we need to fix. All right, other than that, looking pretty good, and that little project works well. Okay, I think we're done. All right, only the last thing, we're going to hide the control module in there for now. This is all going to become a rack, and we're going to rip all of this out, get rid of all that tangle, do all the cables exactly to length, rip out all the redundant ones. All of that will get redone, and this hopefully should become a nice neat rack. Now I want to stress here that while it looks really messy, everything is tested, everything is fused, and we do test the RCD on the regular, and there's a complete operations manual with it as well, so don't freak out, we do check the safety. All right, one of the shows is currently running, so when there's battlefield sounds we should see this flicker. Should, if it works right, boom boom, there we go, flicker flicker. We need to adjust the volume slightly down here. About there's good. Okay. Right, should go boom boom. It's not terribly loud, it's just a little bit in the background. It should give us a bit of ambience. I'm using cron tab to schedule this, so the resolution's only about 1 minute. But it works. Anyway, time to go home. Nothing's hot, everything looks good. I'll see you in the next one.